Congresswoman Maria Salazar-Woerner's family fled Cuba, communist Cuba, and she joins us now. Congresswoman, so great to have you.
Thank you.
I share the frustration that you have with this administration's refusal to stand up for freedom fighters, people who deserve their human rights and dignity. You saw that last summer when the protesters asked for access to the internet, which the Biden administration could have provided and didn't, correct?
Of course, and I'm so happy that you're sharing my sentiments, but not only us, but thousands and thousands of Chinese or Cubans, that they want, Rachel, the same thing we have: freedom, democracy, free market economy, to be able to travel, raise your kids any way you want to, go to school. And unfortunately, the Biden administration is an accomplice.
Why?
Because if you don't stand up, and you are the #1 country you're the beacon of human rights in the world. The Chinese, all they're doing is holding a blank piece of paper, but in reality, what they're saying is, we want to live like you. We want to be free. If I were to be the Biden administration, I would call the Chinese ambassador right now here in Washington, and I would say, I do not understand what your government is doing, but if you want to do business with us, then you have to behave differently, and you have to allow those people to say whatever thing they want to say, because it's not an organized protest. It's just people are going out expressing what they have been holding on for years. Same thing with Cuba. As you said, I have been asking the Biden administration to provide one thing and only one thing: connectivity. Because the Cubans want to know that the rest of the world is watching how brutalized they are on the streets of Havana, just like the Chinese are being brutalized on the streets of Beijing. It's the same story. People want to be free. And we have a duty, we, the United States of America, to be able to help them.
Yeah, we are the United States of America, but we're struggling with free speech in our own country. And truly what I see is the Chinification of our own country, sadly. And that might be why he hasn't stood up and said anything in either of these two very important situations. I want to move to another topic, because it's also very troubling. And you're somebody who follows Latin America very closely. We are seeing the Biden administration making some very puzzling moves, again, in Latin America, driving driving our allies into the arms of China. Talk to me about what's happening there.
Look, I think it's a fantastic question. You know, I belong to the House of Foreign Affairs Committee. I'm in the subcommittee for the Americas, and we hear from Central America, Guatemala, Ecuador, the countries that would love to do business with the United States. They want the American companies to come in, for the nearshoring to happen, to bring all those businesses from China to Central America. That would be one of the reasons we could stop this influx of Central Americans rushing our border. But where's the Biden administration? There's no leadership. Everyone that is watching this program needs to know that Latin America loves the United States. And Ronald Reagan recognized that when he was fighting the Sandinistas. Every single country wants to do business with the American companies. Everyone wants to be with the gringos. We don't want to be with the Chinese or with the Russians. But if those companies don't show up, and the Chinese are coming with their dollars saying, hey, what is it that you need? Roads? Yeah, we'll pay for them. Oh, dams? Yeah, we'll pay for them. Bridges? No problem. Soccer stadiums? Anything. Ports? We're here to give it to you with no strings attached. Really, what all they're doing is that they're trying to invade, not militarily, but economically. And we're talking about Latin America. It's our backyard. People can walk from Argentina to Texas. Walk. And that's the big danger that we are not confronting.
Well, sadly, Congresswoman, it's not something that's going to happen. It's something that is happening right now, and that is China's takeover of Latin America. And we ought to be keeping an eye on that and holding the Biden administration accountable for what they're not doing in Latin America to protect us from the Chinese in our own hemisphere.
Absolutely.
Congresswoman Maria Salazar-Woerner, that means you're a newlywed. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. The good things happen to you once in a while.
I love it.
He's from, you know, he's a boy from Alabama. He's a farmer from Alabama. Could you imagine? Now I'm going to get a Southern twang.
I'd love to see that, Maria.
I go from my Spanish accent to the Southern twang accent.
Well, you found a good one. We're happy about that.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
All right. Wonderful. Congratulations. Best to you.
Thank you, Rachel.
All right.
Of course. See you soon.
Okay.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.